Hello everyone, my name is Dylan Hamilton. I am back here again with Far Cry 5, trying to make another level. This level in particular was inspired by The Last of Us and various other levels that I've seen that have also been inspired by the same game. From what I'm mostly trying to get at is trying to have an overgrown city over here, and it's going to be populated with a mixture of like zombies as well as just like raider NPCs. And for this week, it's basically just been starting up. I've set a few goals for myself for like a milestone for this week. One milestone for this is basically just getting like the basics going, such as like the environment, getting the backdrops and the weather going. It's going to be set in like the more evening time. However, as we can see, it's still mostly just noonish, but that's mostly just so I can see what I'm doing. Once I get closer to the uh, more final version of this level, that's when I'll switch the time. I've also gone ahead and made the loadout basically just to have more of a story like impact. For one, we have one thing I forgot to get rid of was this. I was messing around with the handguns and just trying to see what I could put. We're gonna have the 1911 here. And for that, if I remember correctly, I can edit the attachments. There we go. Have more of a more stealth-like approach to it. There are going to be other guns that you can pick up, but as of right now, it's more of a story-driven map. See, this little area right here is going to be your starting settlement. You start it off here, and you would find that a raider camp that, or a raider team has came through and just ravaged your camp, and you're going to go off onto the bounty hunt of hunting down their leader. But my whole intention right here, it's a very rough block out because Far Cry 5 doesn't have much of a building blocks to have off of. So what I just do is I just grab the buildings, copy them over, and then just set them down. So like as you'll see, what I'll do here is I'll just place it right there, just to have like more intention of what I'm trying to get at. And this little area is going to be blocked off. Later on, I'm definitely going to go through and finalize these blocks, or like make them, like switch them out to more of like the finalized version. But as of right now, they just stand as technically a block out, but from what we have, the intention is you go down here, you kind of zip line down here, because I intentionally have taken away the parachute and the wingsuit, since you don't really need those for this. It's going to be mainly for one, it prevents the player from attempting to like get out of the bounds, and it just makes more sense in like a more apocalypse version. But you come down here, there's going to be a bunch of enemies. As we can see, I've done a little bit of sculpting on the terrain, and what this is, it's a pipe essentially has burst, and a bunch of water has came down here, and it's caused like this little area to kind of sink in. And there's this little makeshift bridge of a bus with pipes and other stuff. Right here, it's more to go more like environmental gameplay or storytelling in a way, because it's like the bus sunk on top, and with the bus being right here, it just so happens to be like a good makeshift bridge, and with this car behind it, you can make it to where the player can go back and forth up and down here. And I will block off that little section right here as well as that. But I will make it to where you can see what's happening, to where that pipe is just gushing out water. But coming over here, there's going to be a little section. It's going to be more blocked off right there. And you'll find an alleyway. What this is going to do, it's you come over here and you'll find like a little weapon thing right here. It's going to be like a secret weapon stash with some ammo. But it's otherwise going to be a dead end. It's just a little thing for the players to find. Players can then come over here. And there's going to be this alleyway where you can't really go much farther. However, there's going to be some hints that tell some players that they can go up there to a grapple and climb up this building. It will then take them into a second rooftop settlement. So if we come up here, it's going to be like a second rooftop settlement with a bunch of raiders. Over here, like in the past, this is going to be mostly filled with like zombies. But this is going to have like NPCs that have guns, and there's going to be set design that shows that people live here and all that. There's even going to be some ammo that you can pick up here along the way. And I wanted to have like a cool little feature where it doesn't just go into one building. I'm going to... This is a little misleading, so I'm going to replace that with something else. Replace it with here for now. There we go. And basically this little section is going to be out of bounds. Not really out of bounds, but there's going to be ways of preventing the player from like going out farther than here. But the player will traverse over here. There's going to be some zip lines that come out to this little building right here and then come back down. And just to have another visual representation. What I mean, there's going to be another street right here. And the target is going to be set inside of right here. So one thing I could do just to have some representation is to put some enemies right here. Overall, this little area right here is going to have a bunch of guys walking around. It's essentially going to be the main outpost. Though this isn't the outpost setting, this is a bounty hunt, but it acts as the raiders' main hideout. With here, this is where the raider boss, or the raider leader, resides. And he's going to be the one that you're after. Let me see. We'll have this guy be... Oh, you're a TNT man. We'll have you be it. Essentially, we will make him the target. How... I'm still like, this is a whole new mode to me. I'm not really that in depth with it yet, so I'm going. This is me just still figuring stuff out. But overall, what the player is supposed to do is they're supposed to go into this or infiltrate this facility and kill this guy. Once they kill this guy, they will then have an objective to leave the area, which I will have another little block off right here with a fence. And once you climb over the fence on the other side, there's going to be the extraction point. So after you like jump the fence, you're home free and you've successfully did the level. Oh, there it is. I was experimenting a little bit with the grappling system already. as we can see here. Just to have like a little bit of experimentation. But as you can see, I will go and demonstrate a little bit of what I mean. So you walk through here, that part's going to be blocked off, but right up here, you can then climb up here. I do plan on putting a box right here that allows you to jump up. As I've tried doing it with ledges, like put a ledge right up there, and it just doesn't work. So I'm going to put like a box right here that the player can jump on. Actually, I need a ledge. Anyways, but yeah, I took away the, as previously mentioned, I took away the parachute. So if a player falls, essentially they're going to take damage. No way around that. But with here, this is going to be a little more aesthetic intention. But what it is essentially is the water is going to flow down here. It's going to be a cutoff right here, so the players can't really wander this way. And from over here, it's going to act as a river. But as it gets over here to this edge, it's going to essentially sink down into the subway. So there's going to be a sudden stop as it's like going down into the subway system and flooding essentially underneath. But once again, it's also going to be a couple areas that are blocked off, as the intention of this map is to be more of a linear styled gameplay instead of the open world. It's gonna play out just as, you know, how The Last of Us played out. Though the only thing is, when the player gets to this point over here, once they get up to this point, there is no going back, as there's only going to be zip lines that go down. So players, once they get to this part, they aren't going to be able to go back. But up until this point, they will be able to like turn around and try to see if they found any secret areas. But once they get here, it's going to be completely cut off, and they're going to be faced up with the main people that reside in this area. The block out, it's a very rough block out, but overall this is just for me to like visualize how I want my level to go. And I will go through and replace everything with how it's essentially supposed to look. But as of right now, that has been my level for Far Cry 5. Until the next update, thank you for watching.